West, no contest. We the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed. Slaves, niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross-talk through the crosswalk or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. Americans killing us, saying they fearing us. Put the drugs in the hood, now my niggas delirious. Put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some Skittles and murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father, give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga, it's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up, cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave, reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Living finna ball out, devils finna fall out. All our warfare, nightmares in the big house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit was gonna turn around. Pride never learned that this motherfucker burns down. Yelled in them streets, told them to breach. All of you angels bring woe to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships, they brought us some fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
Give me Exodus 4:22. And how in the hell did you get the Bible was going to condemn you? Because this is the book of Israel. Instead of going around and trying to use the Bible is the book that's going to destroy your world.
Excuse me, everyone, I have a brief announcement to make. Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Thank you for your time and good night.
Shalom, Ak. Shalom, Ak. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakathah. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakathum. No one knows because they tried to keep it on the low from all my folks because they folk, so I'ma kill them with the flow. Blinded by the dough, we can't see clearly through the smoke. They'd rather see us on that drone, locked up, they're buried in a hole. They wanna see us grow because they can't go toe to toe, but I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow. Try to stop our glow, but they cannot achieve their goal, so I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow.
Hey, who shall be smalls? If we don't get them, they gon' get us all. And I'll be damned if I just sit back while my people fall. There is no contestant when we all in this together, so let's come together now so we can end this shit forever. I don't wanna go to school, I'd rather read up on my enemies and study all the methods used to kill my people mentally. Sex, money, and drugs is destroying our identity, and this ain't nothing new. This shit been going on for centuries. Instead of fighting for rights, you should have been fighting for our land. Now we fighting for the man, they'll go right into their plan. And I'm sick of this, it's ridiculous how the government is such hypocrites. They make the laws, then break the laws. How serious should I take the laws? My blood, homie, I take a loss. This family first, worst come to worst, and I die for mine. Me and my niggas, we charged up like alkaline. We strapped up like Columbine. When it's wartime, I'm on the front line. Facts life, I'm acting like I was born again, it's the afterlife.
No one knows because they tried to keep it on the low from all my folks because they folk, so I'ma kill them with the flow. Blinded by the dough, we can't see clearly through the smoke. They'd rather see us on that drone, locked up, they're buried in a hole. They wanna see us grow because they can't go toe to toe, but I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow. Try to stop our glow, but they cannot achieve their goals. So I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow. Check it, get your life right, cause this the last call. Christ coming back and he's gonna judge us all. It can happen while you shopping, walk around the mall. Where you from, where you at, Babylon will fall. Lose your head by the sword or obey his laws. You hear them drum beats? We in the midst of war, but it's a holy one. I speak the holy tongue. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabbarakathum. I got the most high power, I ain't need a gun. I'll be out here repping till his kingdom come. His bread's for the children, you can't get a crumb. Yeah, they hear me, they ain't feeling where I'm coming from. But lottie-dottie, fuck everybody from the Catholic Church to Illuminati. Christ coming back, not an Anunnaki trying to warn the people, but they tried to knock me. What you thought that I wasn't gonna throw my voice in? Fuck all of y'all, white Jesus poison. No one knows because they tried to keep it on the low from all my folks because they folk, so I'ma kill them with the flow. Blinded by the dough, we can't see clearly through the smoke. They'd rather see us on that drone, locked up, they're buried in a hole. They wanna see us grow because they can't go toe to toe, but I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow. Try to stop our glow, but they cannot achieve their goal, so I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow. No one knows because they tried to keep it on the low from all my folks because they folk, so I'ma kill them with the flow. Blinded by the dough, we can't see clearly through the smoke. They'd rather see us on that drone, locked up, they're buried in a hole. They wanna see us grow because they can't go toe to toe, but I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow. Try to stop our glow, but they cannot achieve their goal, so I can feel it in my soul. They gon' be reaping what they sow.
You're having that dream where you made the white people riot, weren't you?
But I was telling the truth.
How many times have I told you you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth? You understand me? Shoot, making white people riot. You better learn how to lie like me. I'm gonna find me a white man and lie to him right now.
No sweat. No sweat. No sweat. That's light work. No sweat. I got a bunch of soldiers I can go get. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you hoes yet. No sweat. No sweat. They try to still be running through they whole set. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you hoes yet. I ain't top 40 or nothing, but I can do that. To make a single is no biggie, not even 2-pack. My tracks beat so hard, leave a nigga blue black. And when it flood, had them young bloods like how you do that. I'm old school, straight out the city like I'm a new jack. And I was raised in these streets, now where was you at? See, I'm the type of boss that walk in like where the loot at. And you the type of sucker that real niggas will shoot at. Enough about me and you, cause we know what the difference is. Y'all talk too much, like compound sentences. I'm about to murk this beat, hope I don't leave no witnesses. When we slide through, it's real niggas on the premises. You think you done seen it all, but this is just the genesis. Say you wanna run it, you better lace up your tendencies. Ain't about how you can get it, nigga, it's how you finish it. We put in that work, and now it's time to reap the benefits. That's light work. No sweat. I got a bunch of soldiers I can go get. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you hoes yet. No sweat. No sweat. They try to still be running through they whole set. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you hoes yet. My job is being the man, I'm still doing it. Now watch me eat these beats alive, not even chewing it. Gave these young niggas the game and then they ruined it. You might as well sit your ass down until I'm through it. I remember beatboxing and freestyling with Super Jit. That nigga caught 15 years over some stupid shit. We used to dream about this rap thing becoming lucrative, but now my whole aim has changed. I'm chasing rulership. My dogs came to bring the pain, but we not Wu-Tang. We walk in, we shut shit down. That's how we do things. These rap niggas lie. We come to give you that true game. And all my rhymes based on a true story like 2 Chainz. Hotter than blue flames. We ain't cooling down though. Headed to the top. We started off at the ground floor. Y'all niggas brown nose like y'all on the down low. Game over. What you clowns still hanging around for? That's light work. No sweat. I got a bunch of soldiers I can go get. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't feel.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. There we go. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. That was some kind of smooth transitions there. You understand? Getting a little savvy with the technology. You understand? We're going to go ahead and get it cracking. All right, Akim. Again, I want to say Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shah Baraka Thumb to all the Akim, Yahweh Shema Alathun B'Hashem Yahweh Shah to all the Akwathim. This is Priest and Officer of 1,000 Aisha Allah coming out of the ISUPK Eastern Shore, ISUPK Baltimore, ISUPK Maryland. You understand? ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, which started in 1969 in Harlem, New York, 125th Street. All right, 1 West. If it is not under Commanding General Yohana in the ISUPK, it is not the truth. We are not affiliated with any other religious groups. All right, that includes your Christian church, that includes your Muslim mosque, that includes your Hindu temples, your Kemetic shrines. You understand? Your Masonic lodges. You understand? We're not affiliated with no other religious institution on earth. All right, we stand alone in this fight, teaching the very necessary, the very relevant, the very important, the very potent truth of the Bible. And that truth is who the Lord's chosen people truly are. And through history and historical records and prophecies, we understand those people that the Lord loves more than anyone else out of all the nations of the earth as the children of Israel. We understand that nation comprises of 12 tribes that consists of the so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos, the so-called Native Americans, and the so-called West Indians. You understand? The Haitians. All right. We got a very important class tonight. You understand? Kind of a part 2 from last week's segment on mental health. You understand? And what to do. What to do about your mental health, and how much the Christian church has failed the so-called black community and has failed Israel in dealing with such a relevant and prevalent condition, because when we talk about mental health, or I guess more accurately, mental illness, right? I heard General Muhammad was the first person that I heard say that, mental health is kind of an oxymoron. Those are 2 words that don't, it's a mental illness. You understand? It's a mental disorders is what it is. It's not mental health, right? But, the Christian church has no idea how to attack or deal with, the mental health issues that plague our communities. You understand? The statistics and the numbers, point out, the elevated rates of mental illnesses in our people. It points out the extremely low numbers of individuals who actually seek help for their mental illness or their mental disorders. All right. But I think those figures are even more, those figures are quite distorted. I think those figures kind of underestimate the true prevalence and proportion of mental illness in our community. And we are going to get into one tonight. Everybody, no one wants to accept that they have a mental, disorder. No one wants to admit that they struggle with mental illness, right? So that's one of the factors that plays a part in us failing to go get help with these things, We don't realize we have it. And even if we do suspect that there are some things that are going wrong, we attempt to self-medicate it or just self-cope. We just develop unhealthy ways to cope with those things that just don't sit right with us. If I could, let me get the definition of I guess a mental illness or a mental disorder. Aliyah, you got that? You have to read that pretty loud. We got that fan busting. Go ahead.
It's a wide range of conditions that affect mood, thinking, and behavior.
So, just in a nutshell, any type of mental illness or mental disorder is basically it's a wide range of what? What did it say? Conditions. It's a wide range of conditions. So, I mean, if you there's a list, you understand, of all the different, specific conditions that one could develop. You understand? That what, Read?
That affect mood, thinking, and behavior.
It affects mood, it affects thinking and behavior. You understand? So it affects your emotions, it affects the way that you think about things, it affects your problem solving skills, it affects your perception of things, right? But most importantly, I guess maybe it ain't most important, but it's quite important. It's the thing that we all see, that behavior. You understand? Well, what you go and do with it, what you go and do about it, that's the thing that people, your loved ones look at and they say, damn, I think something's wrong, man. I think you need to get help. Yes, it's the behaviors are those things that cause you to, lose your job or not keep a job. It causes you to, destroy friendships, and it causes you to hurt people that you love, and it causes you to let people down that you care about. It causes you to be self-destructive. It causes you to, impact yourself, your life in negative ways. Those behaviors is what we got to focus on. All right. Because the Bible talks about a warfare. You understand? A spiritual warfare. You understand? And it's a war that takes place in your head. You're basically supposed to have a war going on in your head. You're supposed to have a battle going on where your head, your mind wants to tell you to do things that satisfy all of your impulses and urges. That's your flesh. You understand? Your flesh is going to want things, and it's going to want it now. Very much like a immature child. A toddler is one who loses that battle. You understand? They lose the battle to what the flesh wants often. And it takes a lot of training, and it takes a lot of, development to be able to withstand certain urges, right? Like you take potty training, for instance. A little infant is going to use the potty whenever it gets the urge. You understand? There's no infant that holds their bladder either way, right? They don't hold their urge to defecate. They do not delay it. They feel the bubble guts and they let it rip. That's what happens. But as you get older, you get taught that, okay, there's a better way to do this. You understand? There's a facility that you can go into and relieve yourself in that doesn't make a mess of you and a mess of everything, And there's going to come times where you've got to battle those urges. You've got to fight those urges. You've got to maybe become a little bit more, wise in your preparation of, when you go. Maybe you'll go before you're going to not have an opportunity to go. You'll start thinking, ahead of time, and it's just a development process. You understand? Well, that war that we start to learn to fight, there's a war going on that a lot of us don't even realize we're supposed to be fighting. We don't even realize that there's a war going on in our head because we've been taught that having these urges are just fine. These are urges that I can give into, that I can succumb to. These are things that I just should do. So there is no battle. Your mind has been transformed into thinking that certain negative and destructive behaviors are okay. We're going to talk about what caused you to think that way. We're going to talk about how we develop such irresponsible thought patterns. You understand? Let me get read off the list of some of those disorders if we could.
Clinical depression.
Clinical depression. That's that sadness, man. That's that sadness that keeps you in the bed. You understand? Keeps you from wanting to leave your house. Yeah, like keeps you from wanting to clean up. Keep you just it just put depression can put you in a coma while you're fully aware of everything. You understand? Go ahead, read the next one.
Anxiety disorder.
Anxiety, that's that nervousness and that fear. You understand? Read.
Bipolar disorder.
Bipolar, that's the damn, you just up and down all over the place. You're happy as hell 1 minute and you're down in the dumps. There's just no in between. You're either, you know what I mean, just, full of glee or again, full of gloom. That those extreme swings, you understand, affect our communities. Read. Dementia, that's when you really just having a hard time with your memory. Dementia is a memory based illness. You understand, where you have a hard time recalling things that are supposed to be automatic. All right, read.
Attention deficit / hyperactivity disorder.
Yeah, that attention deficit. That's what a lot of us struggle with. That, whether we have gotten it formally diagnosed or not. Like our thoughts are just all over the place. We can't sit still. Sometimes we just daydream and just space the hell out, like that a lot of our kids in school suffer from these conditions. You understand? But these aren't conditions that are are these aren't conditions that aren't treatable. You understand? But like attention, ADHD or ADD, those are conditions that are absolutely curable. You understand? And what I mean by curable is an individual can be taught strategies to not have the ADHD, have them be disruptive. You understand? Or have them be just lost in the sauce and missing a bunch of information. Like that's that, and have them not finishing tasks because they're moving from one task before they finish that, they're off to the next. Like there are strategies that one could be taught. You understand, that can help deal with those weaknesses. All right, read. Schizophrenia, that's a hell of a one right there. That's schizophrenia. You're gonna have a hard. The individuals plagued with this have a hard time dealing with. I won't say have a hard time dealing with, but their perception of reality is oftentimes different, and very much skewed from what others perceive as reality. And this one deals with hallucinations, that maybe they're hearing things, maybe they're seeing things. This is a rough one to deal with. This is not one you want to be running around with and without treatment. You understand? This is one that damn it, there's pills, there's medicine for it, there's therapy for it. And what you're going to need most of all as a schizophrenic, you're going to need a network of individuals who truly love you and who truly care about you to keep you from doing some terrible things. All right, read.
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
That's that OCD. All right. Again, that's another trainable disorder. It's easy. I won't say easily, but that's a quite trainable, issue that people deal with. Maybe they have different little rituals and things like that they have to do. Maybe you got to make sure to, hit the car alarm. You got to hit it 3 times, just to make sure. Every time you get out the car and leave, you got to hit it 3 times. Again, now that's not destructive or anything. That doesn't hurt one. But then there are other mechanisms where, look at it like this. Addiction right? Addiction falls a lot under the OCD category. You understand? And what is it? It's more so. This is what. All right, in a nutshell, like just take people who smoke a lot of weed, right? People who, or just people who smoke in general, people who have a smoking addiction, no matter what it is, right? That lighter flicking, that lighter, the sound of it, the feel of it, the way the lighter just fits in your hand, that can become an addictive property. You understand? An obsessive thing, right? Lighting that thing that's in your mouth, that initial light, inhale and the crackle of the cigarette or the blunt is the thing that people become obsessed with. They just have to have that. You know, like you become addicted to what's called the delivery system of the drugs. You understand? So that's what we're gonna, that's what that's about. All right. Go ahead, Op.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Say that again.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
One more time.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
This is what, damn it, 99% of Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans experience. This is the condition that we experience whether we want to or not. This is a condition that we have. This is a condition that you can inherit genetically. What does it say that post-traumatic stress? Does it say what it is?
It's a disorder in which a person has difficulty recovering after experiencing.
Difficulty doing what?
Recovering.
Difficulty doing what?
Recovering.
Recovering from what?
After experiencing or witnessing.
After what?
Experiencing or witnessing.
After experiencing or witnessing, read.
A terrifying event.
A what?
A terrifying event.
Last time.
A terrifying event.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is something that you can develop. It's a condition that you can have based on what you experience and what you've seen. But there was a scientific research study. So, Lockie, I'm gonna look at it. I want to give credit where it's due. Yep. Emory University. Emory University. All right, Salakia. Let me damn, let's talk about it. I'm gonna send you this screenshot so you can read it. All right, all right. I'm gonna just share that. Boom. Yeah, the cherry blossom, the cherry the mice and the cherry blossoms. You'll find out that they about this PTSD. And look, just kind of a spoiler alert. No, I'm not. If you ain't caught the spoiler yet, then it just ain't spoiled, I guess. Is it a spoiler alert if you missed it? Huh? Go ahead.
A study by Emory University researchers found that mice could inherit a learned fear of a particular scent. Specifically, all right. Acetophenin, which smells similar to cherry blossom, from their fathers. This fearful memory was passed down through epigenetic changes in the sperm, affecting the olfactory receptors of the offspring.
Okay, so just to break that down in a nutshell, Emory University researchers did a study on actually, you go ahead and read the elaboration. I'll let it elaborate. All right.
Elaboration.
All right, check this out. And again, remember, we're thinking about we're talking about PTSD is when we injected this study. Go ahead and read.
The researchers trained male mice to fear acetophenin by pairing the scent with mild electric shock.
Okay, so acetophenin is kind of like what cherry blossoms give off. It's kind of like the smell or whatever. It's kind of like one of the don't want to say pheromones, but it's like one of the things that emit from cherry blossoms. And they took male mice, right? And they taught them to fear that the acetophenin by introducing them to that scent in addition to an electric shock. So the male mice would smell this smell and then get shocked. They'd smell this smell, then get shocked. They'd smell this smell, then get shocked over and over and over again. All right, read.
After this conditioning, when the scent was reintroduced, the trained mice displayed a heightened fear response.
So then, after a while, whenever they would smell the smell, they would anticipate the shock and be afraid. You understand? They associated the smell with the shock coming, so therefore that smell became the thing that they feared because that smell hurts, is what they learned. That smell hurts me. I don't want that smell. It hurts. Read.
The surprising finding was that the offspring of these fear-conditioned mice.
The who?
The offspring of these fear-conditioned mice.
The offspring of these mice, the mice that became afraid of the smell, what would happen with their offspring? Read.
Even those who had never experienced the scent in shock.
Even so they bred them. They took these mice and they bred them. And the babies of these mice, even though they had never gone through the experiment, they didn't get the smell and the shock at all. Not one time. They did not get the smell and the shock at all. Read.
Also displayed a heightened sensitivity to the scent.
They did what?
Displayed a heightened sensitivity to the scent.
They displayed a heightened sensitivity to the scent, to the cherry blossom. Now you tell me what that is. Aliyah.
PTSD.
Yeah, that's damn genetic PTSD. You understand? Like the offspring of the male mice that experience this, somehow in their bones, in the fiber of their being, they understood that smell was bad news. There's something about that smell that just spells trouble. It's irrational. The smell ain't do nothing to nobody. With that being said, we ain't gotta get too much into that. That's a hell of an experiment. That's an experiment for everybody who talks about, the ramifications of slavery. How, that was in the past. Oh, you didn't experience slavery. That was your parents and your grandparents and blah 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 blah. So what are you making a big hoopla about? Well, the effects that our forefathers and our ancestors experienced during the time of slavery and the time of the goddamn just in the hells of America, period. You think that because we weren't alive then, we're not affected by it? Well, but y'all claim to be woke. Everybody claims to be so woke and so scientific and so, just so into everything, that seems intelligent. Well, there's your answer, man. There's your rebuttal. If mice can suffer from the if mice can suffer from experiences of their ancestors and their forefathers, and be impacted by it genetically and biologically, then it's not far-fetched to understand how maybe all the lynchings, maybe all the castrations, maybe all the oppression, maybe all the lashes of the whip, maybe all the buck breaking, maybe all of that does have an impact on us today. Huh? Maybe there's something about that oppression that does last within us, even if we weren't ever cracked with the whip, if we weren't ever faced with a noose. You understand? Maybe there is something within us that just still feels it, that can relate to it, that can be afraid of it, that can be impacted by it. That takes me to my next point. You understand? All right. Let me get the definition of Stockholm syndrome, because Stockholm syndrome falls under PTSD. All right, this is a condition that is very PTSD-esque. Did I just make that up? PTSD-esque is pretty. I think that does. I think it's satisfying. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and read that for me, Baba Kashar.
Stockholm syndrome is a psychological condition.
It's a what?
Psychological condition.
It's a muscular condition.
Psychological condition.
It's a bone condition.
Psychological condition.
It's a psychological condition. It's something that takes place up inside of that big head of yours. You understand? Stockholm syndrome. What is it?
Is a psychological condition in which hostages or abuse victims.
Who?
Abuse victims.
You said hostages or abuse victims. The Stockholm syndrome affects people who are abused, people who are hostages, people who are oppressed are in danger of developing what's called Stockholm syndrome. Read.
Develop a bond.
A what?
A bond.
Read.
Affection. Or loyalty.
A bond, an affection, or loyalty. You have an abused individual who's being abused, and they develop a bond, a tightness, a closeness. You understand? A preference, a loyalty. Read.
To their captors or
to who?
Abusers. To their captors or abusers.
To their captors or their abusers. So it's a condition that you're abused, you're abused, you're abused. And your response to that abuse is to develop a bond, to develop an affection, a love, a care, a loyalty to the one that is abusing you. Read.
Even when those individuals cause them harm.
Even when what?
Those individuals cause them harm.
Even though they're the individuals that are causing you harm. Like, do you see how this is a mental issue? You see how this is a mental illness? You're being abused. And instead of stopping the abuse, you kind of, in a sense, embrace the abuse. You welcome it. No, here's what you do. You excuse it. You excuse the abuse. You say, this person wouldn't abuse me. They're not abusing. You develop schizophrenia. You psych yourself out into thinking that the knuckles they're putting upside your head, the knees that they're putting on your neck, The bullets they're putting in your back are not intended to hurt you. Stockholm syndrome. Read.
It's a survival mechanism.
It's a what?
Survival mechanism.
It's a survival mechanism. It's here's what happens. You're being bullied. You're being abused. You don't know what else to do. It's like curling up in the fetal position. It's like, damn it, okay, I guess there's nothing left to do but just take it. Huh? It's a step further than just covering up and just taking the abuse. It's a survival mechanism that tells you, all right, instead of defend yourself from the abuse, let me show my abuser that I love them, that I care about them, that I'm on their side. Because maybe if I can show them that I'm on their side, maybe, just maybe, they might be like, why am I hurting this person? Let me stop hurting this person. Does that make sense? It's a survival mechanism. And do you know how desperate you have to be to resort to that? Keep reading that.
Where the victim becomes emotionally attached.
They become what?
Emotionally attached.
One more time, because TikTok, they don't always catch the whole joint.
Emotionally attached.
Emotionally attached. You become emotionally attached to the individual that's abusing you. Huh? A people can become emotionally attached to the people that abuse their people. It is a thing. It's science. You understand? All you blackity black Pan-Africanists and chemists and Egyptologists, y'all love that science. It's a condition. It's mental health awareness month. Well, here is a definition of a mental illness. And we understand how, maybe you weren't alive during the Jim Crow laws or the Jim Crow South. You understand? Maybe you weren't alive during segregation. Maybe you weren't alive before the civil rights movement. Maybe you weren't alive back then. But science tells us that we can still be impacted by our ancestors that were alive and experienced those brutal acts. You understand? Those things that they saw and experienced that taught them to fear a certain people, and that taught them that there's a certain people who are above us that will hurt us and will kill us. There is a fear that can be handed down genetically. And there's the people who can be abused to the point where their only recourse or survival mechanism is to show love to the one that is abusing them. And now here we are, 2025. Victims, you understand, victims of terrorism, victims of lynchings, victims of brutality, victims of TikTok, non-consensual intercourse acts. You understand? A people completely abused by another people. Ancestors who were abused by other people. And there's this condition called Stockholm syndrome, where a people will just develop a love for the ones that exact this type of punishment and treatment on them. Read. Often.
Yes, often defending them or feeling in debt to them.
defending them. The abused will defend the ones that are abusing them. Imagine that. Imagine you go out here in the streets and you don't even got to go out in the streets, damn it. Just have a conversation with what you perceive as your closest friends about how, racism still exists. Just say it. Yeah, there's still racism. One of your Black, Latino, or Native American friends are going to argue with you about how, no, there is no racism. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing. You're going to defend them, man. And again, that emotional attachment, that's why in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, it's one of the most practical things that we teach young men and women to do is to not be so damn emotional. Being emotional is a gateway drug to all kinds of terrible decisions. And Christianity is a very emotional place to reside in. If you're sitting up in that Christian church, you wonder why you can't wrap your head around some of these truths, some of these realities. The Christian church has trained us to be schizophrenic and to be extremely naive and gullible to all things emotional. When that's where the hurt lies. That's where you can be taken advantage of. That's where the abuse can continue. Instead of waking up to the truth, instead of accepting the reality. Again, post-traumatic stress, Stockholm syndrome, mental health. It's all the same thing, man. All right. Go ahead and read as it relates to oppression. Here, let the smart people, let what you guys think the smart people are, put this into perspective. Authentic. Check this out. Read.
As it relates to oppression,
All right.
Stockholm syndrome can be seen in the way oppressed people may come to accept.
They do what?
Come to accept.
Read.
Justify. Or even protect.
Or do what?
Protect.
Protect. Read.
The systems or individuals who oppress them.
Come on, man. That's you in the comment section talking about, no, everybody loves me. I haven't experienced any racism. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, go ahead, man. You should get help with your Stockholm syndrome. You should there is a treatment for your Stockholm syndrome. Keep reading that.
This dynamic is often seen in cases of slavery.
In what?
Slavery.
Yeah, slavery is a condition that could damn for sure spark Stockholm syndrome. And what do we understand from the cherry blossoms? From the what's the university? Salakia. From Emory University with the cherry blossoms and the mice. That Stockholm syndrome can be handed down. That Stockholm syndrome can be genetically passed on. That fear of this thing and even the response to that fear. If the response to the fear is, yes, sir, master, yes, sir, master, whatever you want, master. Yeah, I like what you like, master. Whatever you like, master, I like, master. 2025, here we are. Yes, sir, master. It's Master's Independence Day coming up here in a couple months. Master's going to celebrate his nation's Independence Day. His people's birthday. He's going to celebrate it. What you going to do? Yes, sir, I like a barbecue too, sir, master. Yes, sir, master. Hell no. Stockholm Syndrome 101, 4th of July. Another one, Thanksgiving. November 20th, something. November 20th. Thanksgiving. when the colonizer tried to eradicate the Native American. You were going to celebrate what he celebrates. If it's good enough for master, it's good enough for me. Fried turkey, baked turkey, steamed turkey, cooked turkey, microwave turkey, what the hell, air fried turkey. You're gonna get that turkey, whatever, or they eating turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and green beans and mac and master. That's what master's having. That's what we having. Stockholm syndrome. You'll embrace your oppressor rather than acknowledge the evil and the wickedness of your oppressor. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans got to understand that the God of the Bible does not accept your Stockholm syndrome. He's against it. He actually told you never, ever, 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 ever develop it. You cannot develop Stockholm syndrome according to the Bible. You TikTokers, y'all think I'm making this up? This is something you're not aware of, is it? Let me get Proverbs 3:31. Everybody always said we was kings. I don't know. I never know what that means, but I just feel like it's a racist comment. I always feel like it's a racist. We was kings. I feel like it's a racist comment. But I feel like it's a racist comment to, like, you know, them Egyptians, you know what I'm saying? Like the Egypt, you know, them Kemetic folks, you know what I mean? Always, you know, we were pharaohs, we're black, whatever. Whoever, whichever one of y'all are more aggressive about it, take it, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Go ahead.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Do what?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
The Bible talks about an oppressor. I mean, damn, you don't got to be too smart to understand that if there is an oppressor, there is a people. In order for there to be an oppressor, there has to be a people or someone else who is being oppressed, right? And if this statement is saying, envy thou not the oppressor, then who is it talking to? The oppressor or the oppressed? Aliyah is talking to the oppressed. So whoever the hell you are, oppressed people of the world, oppressed people throughout history, whoever the hell you are, the Bible, the God of the Bible says, envy thou not the oppressor. Do not fall in love with the oppressor and what he has. Do not fall in love with him. Do not become a loyal servant and subject of him according to the Bible. You Christians out there, you are not allowed to envy your oppressor if you're the oppressed. Now, this could go two ways. Either you're the oppressed or you're the oppressor. So unless you Christians believe that you're the ones who are oppressing people, you have to understand that you are the oppressed. And this is an order from the Most High God. Envy thou not the oppressor. Read.
And choose none of his ways.
And do what?
And choose none of his ways.
You can't choose his ways. You can't opt to be like him for survival's sake. You can't pretend to, in your opinion, humanize yourself by taking on his characteristics, which is what your loyalty to him is all about. Your loyalty to your oppressor under Stockholm syndrome is the survival mechanism that tries to get him to be like, wait a minute, hurting this individual that supports me hurts me, so I won't hurt him. The God of the Bible says you can't envy your oppressor. You can't choose his ways for self-survival. You understand? You can't go and like, look at how I celebrate your Christmas, boss. Look at how I celebrate your New Year's that you celebrate, boss. Look at how I celebrate your your damn Valentine's Day, boss. Look at how I celebrate your 4th of July, boss. I celebrate your Mother's Day and your Father's Day, boss. Look at me. I'm just like you. I do what you do. I'll do whatever the hell you do. You hate blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'll put on a red MAGA hat and hate blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans right along with you, boss. Don't you love me now? Don't you care about me now? It's Stockholm Syndrome 101, and God is against it. You can't envy your oppressor. You can't look at his lifestyle and say, damn it, I wish that could be me. I want to do that. You can't do it. God is against it. So break that Stockholm Syndrome. Huh? We'll help you deal with the ADHD. We'll help you deal with the damn anxiety. We'll help you deal. The ISUPK will help you deal with all these conditions. You understand? Especially this Stockholm Syndrome. There's no way around it. Your love for all of their Greek and Roman gods is Stockholm Syndrome. Christmas is Stockholm Syndrome. What? You love, what's his name? Nimrod? Huh? Huh? Rashida from the projects. You love Nimrod? Huh? You worship Nimrod specifically. You know about Nimrod? Huh? New Year's. You know about Kronos? You know? Do you know about him? You don't know any of these things. You just do it because your oppressor does it. Stockholm Syndrome 101. You come into the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, you will not have Stockholm Syndrome. You will not envy your oppressor. You'll understand them for the devil and the enemy that they are. And you will not accept his ways. You won't go and start behaving like him in an attempt for him to, show you some kind of favor? You don't become a damn yes man to your oppressor. Hell no. God is against that. That's cowardly. When we have the God of the universe on our side, who told us, envy thou not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. He said that if we would obey his laws, statutes, and commandments, there will be no oppressor. You understand? He said he'll put us on high above all nations on the face of the earth. We will be the oppressor. Everybody, every other nation, the Asians, the Africans, the Arabs, the goddamn Europeans, they would be under us. We would have no one above us to inflict Stockholm Syndrome on us. We wouldn't have it. But we don't want to turn back to the Most High God. We don't want to turn back to our identity. Which, you know what? Hey, let's keep reading that. Salakia. Go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 32.
No, not third. Don't read the verse, Amawan. Keep reading where you are. Overturn. Oh, no, Salakia. This dynamic is often seen in cases of slavery. I want you to take it from there.
Colonization.
Come on, man. Who is Stockholm Syndrome talking about? Huh? Colonization. I don't know another nation or group of people on the face of this planet who are guilty of colonization. I don't know them. Who is? Huh? Who the hell is the You say colonizer, you can't picture a different person. Amawan, put your hand down. It's rhetorical. Everybody on earth knows who the colonizers are. Read.
Abusive relationship.
Come on, that's abusive relation. Yeah, this is one hell of an abusive relationship. Read.
Or Spiritual manipulation.
That's your Christian church. Read that again.
Spiritual manipulation.
That's your Muslim mosque. Hello, all you Nation of Islamers. Read.
Spiritual manipulation.
Spiritual manipulation. See, you guys expect. Listen, the church has taught us to be emotional, not spiritual. We conflate emotionality with spirituality, which is why inside the Christian church, the goddamn minister of music can get to slamming on the organ. The brother on the drums can get to smacking the drums. Someone in the audience can get to smacking the tambourine. And before you know it, everybody's falling out, running around, rolling around, dancing around, thinking they're having some sort of spiritual encounter when it's all emotional. It's all emotional. Yeah. All right, church. Go ahead, keep reading that. These are the heavy points. We're gonna get scriptures for all of these. Go ahead.
Over time, the oppressed may begin to.
The what?
The oppressed may begin to.
So over time, this is what you can expect from someone who is suffering. Someone who is suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Read.
Rationalize their suffering.
Doing what?
Rationalize their suffering.
You're just gonna rationalize your suffering, huh? You deserve to suffer. That's what it is. Your suffering is your fault. You like it's all on you. You should just pull yourself up by your bootstrap, huh? All you brothers and sisters in the ghettos, you understand, and on the reservations, right? And in the favelas of Brazil, damn it, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Your oppression is your fault. Your poverty is your fault. Read.
Defend their oppressors.
Listen, every time we are on the verge of getting a boot kiss, 99% of the time we are on the verge of getting a boot kiss. There's going to be some brother or some sister that comes out of the crowd that is going to talk about how terrible what we're doing is. And they're going to try to impede on a glorious boot kiss. They're going to try to stop it. They're going to try to fight it. They want none of it. This is what's going on. If you have Stockholm syndrome, read.
Adopt the values or beliefs of their abuser.
You're going to adopt the values and beliefs of your abuser, huh? You're riddled with Stockholm syndrome. So everything your abuser believes, you're going to believe. TikTok, why do you celebrate Christmas, TikTok? 6 triangles, pointed star. Come on. You can't be so naive. Why do you celebrate Christmas, TikTok? Why do you celebrate New Year's, TikTok? Why do you celebrate Valentine's Day, TikTok? Why do you celebrate the 4th of July, TikTok? It's not 6 stars, it's 2 stars. We'll talk about this, mama's boy. We'll talk about this when class is over. We'll break down what this so-called star is all about. We'll fix all of your misunderstandings. But why do Black people celebrate all of these things that the oppressor celebrates? Well, Stockholm syndrome says you're just going to adopt the values and the beliefs of your abuser. Huh? Why is there so much conflict amongst each other? Huh? Why do we have so much conflict for each other and no conflict for our oppressor? Right? Like, even the cops that come and unlawfully unalive one of us, even the police force, it's never because we're being aggressive, like violent, or somehow running afoul to the police force that abuses us. It's always over some other nonsense that ain't got nothing to do with them. Read that last one, and then we're going to get straight scriptures from here on out. Go ahead.
Reject their own identity.
They do what?
Reject their own identity.
Last time for TikTok.
Reject their own identity.
They reject their own identity. Read.
Or reject their own history.
Or their history. We got to get into the scriptures about this. We already read, envy thou not the oppressor. That wasn't enough? I understand. Let me get Isaiah 1 and 3, Baba Kasha. Let me get Jeremiah 2 and 33, Baba Kasha. Whoever has whatever first, just start reading, Baba Kasha, nice and aggressively. Aliyah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33.
Uh-huh.
Why trimmest thou thy way?
Why trimmest thou thy way? Why the hell you gotta reject who you are? Why do you gotta trim your culture, your customs, your traditions, what you believe, what you value? Why do you gotta forget who the hell you are? Read.
To seek love.
To do what?
To seek love.
To do what?
To seek love.
Stockholm syndrome. You want to seek love. And it's who you want to seek love from. You done trimmed your way. The way of you and your people, you trimmed that. So who the hell you want to love you? Oh, your oppressor. I get it. You want your oppressor to love you, man. Read.
Therefore, hast thou also taught the wicked one thy ways.
You done taught the wicked one thy ways, man. The wicked one see that you will abandon what you're supposed to do what they want you to do. You'll trade it in. Their way is better according to you. In your oppressive state. Their way is premium, it's superior. It's going to dominate. Number one, you got Isaiah Baba Kasha. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The ox knoweth his owner.
The ox knoweth his owner, man. The ox knows who the hell he belongs to. You know what an ox is? An ox is an animal utilized in agriculture to do, some work that requires force. You understand? Oftentimes they're hitched to a plow and they're able to drag that plow down through the earth and break up all that hard earth. That's an ox, man. An ox, all an ox knows is walking forward. I just walk forward. I don't think about a whole bunch of this, a whole bunch of that. I don't do a bunch of philosophizing. I don't do a whole bunch of, politicking. I just walk forward. This animal who only follows its own intuition to walk forward, it knows. What did it say it knows?
His owner.
His owner. It knows that, you know what? This cat behind me is my owner. He feeds me, he clothes me, takes care of me. I'll do what he tells me to do. You think some stranger could walk on to the damn to some farm or some field and just take hold of the ox and get it to do things? An ox knows, hold on, who the hell are you? Who are you taking the reins of this, this yoke? Who are you? What are you like? Where's my master? Where's my owner? A ox, a beast, an animal. Read.
And the ass.
The who?
The ass.
The who?
The ass.
The ass is notorious for being unintelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like the donkey is notorious for not being bright. Does everybody understand that? It's like a snake is notorious for being not something you should trust. You know what I mean? Something wicked and vile. Like animals have characteristics. A pig is another dirty beast that's notorious for just being freaking dirty and disgusting, right? An ass is notorious for its lack of intelligence. But the Bible says the ass what?
And the ass knoweth his master's crib.
The ass knows his master's crib. A crib is like a manger. It's like where the animal lives. It's where the animal is stored on the master's property. It's where he lives. It's where he sleeps. It's where he gets food at. It's where if the ass were ever to run off and dip off and end up somewhere else, it would know that it has to return where to survive. Raise your hand. Why?
To the master's crib.
It knows where the hell to go to survive. Just go back to the master's crib. It knows who it is. It knows what it is. It knows its rank and within its life. It knows how to get it done. That's it. An ox and an ass know who they are. Stockholm syndrome requires you to give up who you are, to try to become like your abuser, like your oppressor, like your captor. The ass and the ox know not to give up who they are. It knows who they are. It knows who their master is. It knows where to go get food from. It knows who to listen to. Read.
But Israel.
But who?
Israel.
Blacks.
Israel.
Latinos.
Israel.
Native Americans.
Israel.
Read.
Doth not know.
Doth not know. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans don't have a clue who they are. You understand? We don't know who the hell we are. How the hell are you going to be African American? African is a continent. America is a continent. Africa is named after a white man. America is named after a white man. Who the hell are you? Huh? Listen, all right, we're on the Eastern Shore, man. That's like being, a cat that claims to be Walmart and Dunkin' Donuts. You understand? Like you're a Walmart and a Dunkin' Donuts. No, Walmart is where you shop at for groceries and things like that. Dunkin' Donuts is just a store inside of Walmart. That can't be an identity. That's just two things that you go to. African and American are just two damn places you can go to. It's continents, named continents. It ain't your identity. It ain't who you are. It ain't your culture. It ain't your beliefs. I mean, what do you want to do? Israel don't know who the hell they are. That's why the Bible describes Israel as the 12 lost tribes of the house of Israel. Lost tribes. Huh? How might a lost tribe behave? Does a lost tribe say, I know who I am, I know where I'm supposed to be, I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it come hell or high water? No, a lost tribe is going to be some damn where oppressed like hell and going to be like, I'm just going to do whatever the hell they doing this here. I'm going to do what they do. Huh? You still struggling to understand who the 12 lost tribes are? Who is doing that in the world today? Huh? What people are doing, what people are resorting to doing, whatever the hell the people where they are, the people where their ancestors were enslaved and captured and kidnapped and brought to and raised up to reproduce, to raise up more, to reproduce. Like what other people experience this? I'll wait. It's not a huge mystery. It ain't that big of a mystery, huh? To know who the hell blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are. But check this scripture. Check the wisdom in this scripture. Read, Amawan.
My people.
Who?
My people.
Who?
My people.
Everybody.
My people.
The whole world.
My people.
No, my people, Israel, the Israelites, the 12 lost tribes. What about my people? What do these people do? Read.
Doth not consider.
They do what?
Doth not consider.
One more time for TikTok.
Doth not consider.
Don't even consider. The Lord's chosen people don't even consider who the hell they are. Huh? How old does the child, how old do you got to be in America before a black, Latino, or Native American start asking questions about like, who the hell am I? You understand? And it's only, and it's a small percentage of them that actually get to inquiring. Because so much of our population, so much of our nation, so many blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are absolutely content kissing the ass of the ones that oppress them with their full-blown Stockholm syndrome that they've inherited from the ancestors of their fathers who were oppressed and buck broke and lynched and quartered, drawn and quartered behind 4 horses and whipped and lashed and terrorized and raped. That's, we don't even want to consider who the hell we could be besides the one who does that to us. Listen, we got to wake the hell up. The God of the Bible ain't for, like, there's no excuses. You understand? Saying that we don't consider who we are ain't a pass. It's a diss. The ox is going to wonder where the hell, hey, yo, hold up. Who do I belong to? The ass is going to say, hey, where do I go for food for real, for real? Like, where the hell's the crib? Israel can't fathom in all of its Stockholm syndromedness that we don't belong to the oppressor. We don't belong to the abuser. We don't belong to the one who holds us captive. We don't. We belong to the Most High God of the Bible, the God of Israel. That's who we belong to. And when we belong to him, we don't act like the oppressor. We don't take on his ways. We don't envy his ways. We don't want to be like him. I mean, damn, how much more clear can we make it? How much more clear? I don't understand how much more clear can it be. But this is what we do. This is what we do. Let me get Jeremiah 5:31. This is what we'd rather hear. Let me get Proverbs 26:11 from whoever else, if I could. This is what we'd rather hear. What you got, Aliyah? Jeremiah 5:31 is Tawab. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 31.
Go ahead.
The prophets prophesied falsely.
Listen, we go to the church to hear all the damn fake nonsense that they say that God is telling them. Your pastor, your minister, your bishop, you brothers tied up in that damn nonsense Islam. You go and turn to that imam, right? And what do they say? Go ahead. What do these prophesy? Go ahead. What do these prophets do? Go ahead.
Prophesy falsely.
They prophesy falsely. They tell lies. Read.
And the priests bear rule by their means.
The priests bear rule by their means. So your pastor tells you whatever it is that he wants you to hear. He don't tell you the truth. Huh? And here's the thing, your pastor knows what you want to hear. Your pastor knows that you want to hear that, I always like this little quote. It says, I always use it when I'm talking about the pot smokers, right? You get so damn high, and then you learn that there's a sect of people called Rastafarians that get high religiously for religious purposes, right? And they had a spokesperson named Bob Marley that had a song called "Every Little Thing Is Gonna Be All Right." That's what you want to. You just want to hear everything's gonna be all right. That's all you want to hear, huh? That's all. That's all you want to hear. Three little birds pitched by my doorstep. That's it. As long as birds are singing, I'm fine. You're naive. You're schizophrenic. You got Stockholm syndrome. Read.
And my people love to have it so.
Yeah, the Lord's chosen. We'd rather just hear a bunch of lies that says everything's fine, no one's oppressing you, you don't have any enemies, and no matter what you want to do, you can do. Just live your life the way you want to live it. Whatever you want to do is just fine. God loves you no matter what. When you die, you go to heaven and everybody's happy. This is what we prefer to hear, rather than the hell that our ancestors lived through is because of our disobedience to God. To stop the hell that we lived through, we have to obey God. We have to stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. We got to stop eating pork. We have to stop worshiping the gods of the people who oppress us under the auspices that they'll love us and stop oppressing us because we act like them. That's what we've got to do. Everybody understand that? Who's got Proverbs 26 and 11? I'm a one. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 11.
Go ahead.
As a dog returneth to his vomit.
As a dog returneth to his vomit. You understand? Dogs get sick and puke up a bunch of garbage, man. You understand? Usually it's after they've eaten some garbage. They done got into some trash can or something. They done got into eating some nonsense they shouldn't have been. Something that alters their typical dietary routines. They get into that garbage, do some nonsense that they're not accustomed to, and then they throw it up. That's what a dog would do. But then a dog will go back and lick up the vomit. It'll go right back to the vomit as if, wait a minute, that wasn't traumatic for you? That didn't hurt you? That consequence of throwing up after you ate the whole trash can, you want more of it? Read.
So a fool returneth to his folly.
So a fool returns to his folly. Just like a dumb dog that eats any damn thing that it can see. You understand? And gets sick and throws up, gets hurt and throws up. That's how a fool will behave. How many times America has to betray the Black, Latino, and Native American communities before the Black, Latino, and Native American communities can accept that they are not your friend? That they are not where any of the solutions for your well-being lie? When will we be able to shake off the Stockholm syndrome? When will we stop? What does the Bible say? We wait in vain for a nation that cannot save us. Huh? The Bible says that we long to go back to Egypt. Huh? We prefer captivity because at least in captivity we had 3 hots in the cot. That's what we prefer. We'll go back to the same destructive ways. Listen, come on, you potheads. How many of you potheads couldn't get a job because you couldn't pass a piss test? Did you stop smoking after you couldn't get that one job? Tell me you got clean. Tell me you went 30 days without smoking a leaf to get a job and to be able to make a living. No, you didn't. You went right back to smoking. You went right back to the vomit. Damn Christmas breaking our communities. Pockets empty. Debt increased. That all the you got a whole new credit card just for Christmas. You maxed that out along with last year's Christmas credit card just to celebrate a God and to participate in the tradition and the custom that belongs to the one that oppresses you. You return to your vomit like a dog. You know it's unhealthy for you. You sisters out there just being, listen, how many baby daddies? The God of the Bible will have you have one baby daddy and a bunch of however many kids he puts into you. That's it. Here's the kicker. He might have other baby mamas, but here's the glorious part. You don't have a bunch of baby daddies. What's better? You having 3 kids by the same man who has other kids, or you having 3 different baby daddies? You gonna make it 4 this summer? Because you know it's damn hot girl summer. Every year it's hot girl summer. Listen, we got to do better, Israel. We can't continue to be plagued with the mental illness, the mental disorder called Stockholm syndrome that we've inherited from our ancestors. The God of the Bible does not give Stockholm syndrome a pass. He said, envy thou not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. What you got to understand is the oppressor is against the God of the Bible. And the Bible says you can't serve 2 masters. You can't serve your oppressor who hates God and God. You can't do it. The Bible says you'll love the one and hate the other. Well, I tell you to choose ye this day whom you will serve. I'll tell every Black, Latino, and Native American to choose to serve the God of the Bible, which means you have to hate the one that oppresses you. And I know that that's going to be rough for individuals stricken with Stockholm syndrome, because your knee-jerk reaction is going to be to protect the oppressor. Wait a minute, I gotta hate him? Huh? I gotta not like him? I gotta not trust him? Well, what's it gonna be? The God of the Bible or your oppressor who hates the God of the Bible? Gotta pick one, Israel. If you're struggling with this, you know what I mean, this quandary, is that a thing, a quandary? If you're struggling with this conundrum, contact the ISUPK in the city nearest you, man. Get counsel. Get in class. Find out what the Bible really says. Stop going to church. The church is going to tell you whatever you want to hear. Be man enough to just want the truth. Huh? Be man enough to accept that there is no tooth fairy. You understand? You in your goddamn 20s, you got to get a tooth pulled. Tell me you're not going to put that tooth under your pillow. Shameful. Don't do it. You want the truth. You know there's no tooth fairy. You know what I'm saying? You know there's no tooth fairy. You know there's no Easter bunny. You know Santa Claus don't come down chimneys. Here's the other reality. Know that every Black, Latino, and Native American is a child of the Most High, man. And we are the real children of Israel, who the God of the Bible prefers over everyone else. Accept that. Find out about that. Dig into that. Find out why we say that. Find out who's who on the 12 tribes chart. Find out who Judah is, who Issachar is, who the tribe of Gad is, who the Manassites are, who the Levites are today. Find out. See if it's something, man. Fight this Stockholm syndrome and this mental health awareness month in America. You understand? Make sure you don't have it. Everybody understand? No sweat. All right, we definitely short on time. TikTok, we're gonna do an extended segment with y'all. If anybody in the chat want to see what's cracking with TikTok, I kind of go in a little bit once I clip the class. We got class coming up again at 7. ISUPK Eastern Shore, ISUPK Baltimore, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You understand? You can catch all those classes. We're gonna be a brother, Officer Matazaba, also a 5,000 Matazaba. Put some respect on it, right? He's gonna be teaching a glorious class tonight again on biblical law. All right. But if y'all want to, see me interact with this TikTok chat, go to ISUPK Eastern Shore on TikTok. All right, and see me chop it up with them. They got a lot to say, but I'm telling you, every time I end this class and go straight to TikTok and give them my undivided, they don't really got so much to say for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. I'm cordial, huh? I ain't got Stockholm syndrome, but I'm cordial. But I want to say, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Barakatham Daughter Akim, Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah Daughter Akwathium. Shalom, Israel. Salakia.